Big problems with drivers taking over the streets and doing donuts. The group did this in several spots across the city of Dayton over the weekend. And now city commissioners are weighing in, working with police to develop new options to crack down on this dangerous practice. News Center 7's Mike Campbell has been reporting on this issue for months. He walks us through some of the ideas to stop this type of driving.
There were 6 stops in this street takeover in Montgomery County Sunday morning. The one that drew the most attention was here in downtown Dayton at 3rd and Jefferson. You can see all the tire tracks in this intersection where drivers went wild. The city commissioners want it stopped, and they say they need to be part of the solution. Everyone working, living, or playing downtown could hear and see the street takeover. The driving maneuvers and the disregard for safety has police worried.
I'm scared for the people who may not be making the best life decisions hanging out of that vehicle and driving that way. I'm scared for our citizens, and I'm scared for my officers.
Dayton Police Major Jason Hall was asked to present city commissioners the problems with hooning, the catch-all term for aggressive showcase driving. He was also asked to present potential solutions. A 6-part plan includes using aviation assets from the OSP, approving overtime to break up known events, strict enforcement, roadway changes made by public works employees, proposed legislation changes, and higher use of technology. The problem is not new. This event happened last July 4th at the Gettysburg Plaza, and it led to police chases, often with spectators chasing officers who were trying to catch up with drivers running from them. Police said the reckless operation citation they can give these drivers now does not allow them to make an arrest or seize a vehicle. Police are proposing changing the reckless operation charge to a 4th-degree misdemeanor. That would allow officers to arrest drivers, impound vehicles, and could lead to possible jail time and fines.
These activities will not be tolerated, and that these are the next steps in how we will mitigate these issues in the area.
It's about looking forward to what options we have as far as changing legislation. Obviously, there's something that needs to be done here.
It's not clear what kind of timeline city commissioners are on to approve changes to ordinances that could increase penalties for street takeovers. What is clear is that they're even looking for more support regionally and even statewide, talking about asking state lawmakers to approve harsher penalties for this type of activity. In downtown Dayton, Mike Campbell, News Center 7.